Exciting.
Hey everybody, welcome to Workforce Gaming. I am Brad along with Doug.
Hi.
So the big news from last week was the Final Fantasy 15 Uncovered event,
Mm-hmm.
which we actually already covered and we have a whole separate video for, which it might be a good idea to link here. Maybe we'll link that here.
That would probably be a good idea. We got a ton of views on that too, which was actually very exciting. I like to think it was in part due to us, but mostly in part due to Googling a Final Fantasy 15.
But if you're new, thank you for joining us, and we appreciate you coming and joining us.
Mm-hmm.
To get into some other news this week, lots of leaks were happening this week. So with Final Fantasy 15, there's, even Square kind of approached it and basically came out and said, we know that you know a bunch of stuff, but my favorite thing was they used the hashtag please be excited about our conference because a whole bunch of stuff leaked.
That was a weird thing to post because the Please Be Excited was like kind of a weird moment for Square in general because that's when they announced that really awful Final Fantasy VII PlayStation. It wasn't even a remake; it was just the PlayStation version coming out on PS4, and that's when he's like, "Please be excited," and that's when everyone's like, So when they did that, I was like, "That's kind of funny," and really, actually, it made me feel bad for them. Like I think they were aware that they had a lot of stuff they still had left to hide.
Yeah.
But when they did the "Please be excited," I was like, "Oh."
Yeah, it
Poor
was that.
Square.
It was that like multi-million, probably close to billion-dollar corporation with their tail between their legs. Like, please,
Yeah.
we spent so much money on this. Please pretend like you. Please pretend like you're surprised.
Yeah, and luckily it was funny because I actually thought a lot of stuff leaked, and it turned out like I think like one really minor video of like I don't know 5 or 6 videos was the stuff that actually leaked.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
But this is kind of breaking news, so to speak. But I guess it's not going to be breaking news when you guys heard about it. But we just found out about it minutes ago. There
yep,
was some God of War 4 stuff that just kind of came out and sounded like came out in kind of a sketchy way, which makes me
yeah.
always a little
Real
sad.
quick, let's just be very clear that we will spoil this if this is legit. This spoils the setting of God of War 4, and I think that's kind of important for people to know up front. So if you don't want to know the setting of God of War 4, I'll say skip to
9 minutes and 3 seconds.
if you want to skip over the God of War 4 stuff. Because when I heard this, I always get disappointed when leaks come out. There's always a part of me that gets a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, and this is kind of one of those weird ones because by now I'm assuming if you don't want to know what this is, you probably skipped ahead. And this might be fake by the time we post it because it literally just got posted to NeoGAF like 10 minutes ago. So
Yeah.
this all might turn out to be fake tomorrow. So who knows? But this was kind of a big one. This felt like one of those when they announced it, this was going to be their big like, and it's Norse mythology.
Yeah.
Like it felt like that's going to be that big like headlining piece of like we're doing God of War 4, here's why it's different. And that's what got leaked because if you go through and you look, and I don't know if we'll put it in the video or not because it is kind of crappy to do that, but
Yeah.
a whole bunch of concept art leaked. It's all different Norse settings and the environments look really pretty. Looks very early though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the story was there's like a concept artist who used to work for Sony Santa Monica, and this is just on his like. So artists in general have like an online portfolio, and they can set certain sections to private, like so only certain people can see them, preferably the people that he wants them to. And apparently this was like sort of in the cache or something where you didn't actually need the password, and then they found a bunch of this concept art which showed. A bearded Kratos looking character. I don't know if it's actually Kratos.
It's Kratos.
I hope not. I don't know if it actually is. And then it showed some pretty cool settings, and I wish I could say, oh, it's that thing, but I know nothing about Norse mythology. So how do you feel about just I guess from a... I think we were all kind of expecting that God of War was eventually going to switch mythologies, mostly because he killed pretty much everything in Greek mythology. And if you play God of War Ascension, I don't know if you actually played that one, you definitely are killing some C-tier Greek myths. Like, they were definitely like running out of Greek myths. So, I mean, with it being Norse, are you excited that it's Norse, or do you have like what like you heard? So you hear God of War 4 is Norse mythology. What does that mean to you?
It means I still am not super concerned about it. I will be completely honest and point out the fact that I've only played God of War 1 and half of God of War 2. No, wait, I finished God of War 2. I've played God of War 1 and 2.
That's so weird. God dang, because the third one is clearly the best. Well, I wouldn't say clearly the best, but it's definitely like God of War 3. I guess for its time was freaking incredible. So this doesn't really. Well, I mean, okay, just from an outside perspective, what is Norse? If it wasn't God of War, would Norse mythology go pique your interest or not?
A little bit, just because it's one of those unexplored things. Like, I liked Never Alone a lot because it was stories that I hadn't heard before, and I think Greek mythology is, the go-to
Mhm.
historical mythology, more or less. So it'd be cool to see, but I don't know. God of War, I don't care about too much. I'm not a huge mythology person, so it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's cool. I might play that maybe in 10 years.
I'm like I love. I don't know if I love. I really do like the God of War series a lot. Like so, whenever there's a new God of War, I'm generally excited for it. God of War Ascension was like pretty much the only one I would say was not totally great. Looked amazing though. The only thing I think I'm a little bit hesitant about Norse mythology is just that I know nothing about Norse mythology, so I don't really know. I think I think when God of War first came out, like because I think everybody in school now is like you were saying, it's kind of the go-to mythology that everybody sort of learns about. You're like, ooh, I can't wait to kill that character, and you know who those characters are. But now, like Greek myth, like Norse mythology, I know Loki, I know Thor, and I know Odin, and like really beyond that,
And
I
the
don't know
Hulk.
a whole lot. And the I'm gonna cut that joke. That was an awful, awful joke.
That was a great joke, and you better
No,
leave
but
that
like
joke in there.
I think the only other Norse mythology game I can even think of, you might have even played this. What was that Silicon Knights game?
Too Human.
That Two Human. Did you actually play Two Human?
I did. I played all of Too Human.
So you might actually know more about Norse mythology than I. Are there any exciting characters? Well, I guess this is a really horrible example through the filter of this other guy. Is there any like characters you're excited for in Norse mythology?
That game sucked.
Okay.
There were some cool
Besides
robot.
that
There
game
were some cool
sucking.
robot monsters, but I don't think the robot monsters were the Norse mythology part.
Yeah, I don't think Norse. I don't think that's. Yeah, it's probably not true. Yeah, that's. Yeah. Yeah, so this one I'm kind of like tepid on. I will say that I did sort of call this, not call this, but this has been sort of rumored for a while because people are trying to figure out different mythologies. I was really hoping it was Egyptian. I was really hoping it was Egyptian because I think there's a lot of cool monsters.
That would have been really cool, Egyptian.
Yeah, and I feel like I have a better idea of like what monsters in Egyptian mythology look like rather than like Norse mythology. And actually, Sony Santa Monica definitely teased Norse mythology in Shovel Knight. When you fight Kratos, you're in a snowy area with a snowy mountain in the background, and I was like, oh, that's kind of weird because there's like barely any snowy areas in God of War, especially not like an iconic looking mountain thing. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is if the concept art isn't real, I'm pretty sure at the very least it will definitely be like a Norse mythology
Yeah. And
area.
beard, is it real or not?
I
It's the important part.
I don't. I mean, yeah, Norse mythology. I assume it's full of beards. I really hope it's just not Kratos. I hope it's just not bearded Kratos.
But he has a beard now,
I,
so he's a different character.
I hope he's a different. I mean, I would be okay with like taking an iconic design and like modifying it and say it's this guy, even though he kind of looks like him. I'm gonna be really disappointed if it's Kratos though, and just more Blades of Chaos and stuff. I'm just gonna be.
Yeah, hopefully they're taking a bit. I mean, it's been a while. When was this? Ascension was like 2013, right?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
been a
but
while.
I mean, it's been a while, but like the God of War gameplay has gotten old just because you use the exact same combos in like every single game, and it
Eh,
just gets tiring after. That's like the only reason, really, is just from a gameplay perspective. I think you'd be kind of boring.
Which is very true because that's why I never bothered to get past 2 because I bought that big fancy PlayStation 3 version of like every God of War game and I played 1 and then I played 2 and then I started 3 and I think I beat the first level and went, this is the same damn game. Okay, I'll come back to this in a year or two.
Yeah, and I get that feeling now because I played 5 God of War games, so I'm like, I'm really hoping they'd mix up something in the regards to the gameplay at the very least.
And the last thing that leaked this week is some Mass Effect Andromeda details. So the first thing that happened is they put out a marketing survey. And I'm just going to kind of read this because it's pretty interesting. It says Mass Effect Andromeda takes players to the Andromeda galaxy far beyond the Milky Way, where players will lead the fight for a new home in hostile territory where we are the aliens opposed by a deadly indigenous race bent on stopping us. And this is the important part, I think. Experience the freedom to traverse and explore a planet dense but seamless open world galaxy rich with discovery.
I don't know what that means because to me, I think you could say any of the Mass Effects is a seamless open world galaxy in which you can sit there and go to different planets.
No, because like the later ones, you got into that weird resource mining mini game where you only had maybe like 10 planets you could go to, and you could go to all these other ones, but all you could do is just decide what probe to send it to.
The thought of an open world galaxy gets like in my head as like the No Man's Sky thing. Like,
Yep.
it's gonna be really big. It's gonna be pretty empty. Like, I'd rather just have small, dense environment. I'm just in general, just like the way I play games. I like small, dense environments versus like big, large, sprawling environments. So large, sprawling. Like, I guess the only reference I could think of Mass Effect big, sprawling environments would be those Mako. What's it? What are those things called?
The Mako missions in Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, and that's it. It's like, and that's what it was. They were very big areas that were very barren.
Yeah, I'd be curious. It's one of those things where, if done right, could be really cool, but it could just be, oh, look, I'm going to go drive my little rover thing on the planet that's all sand. Okay, and now I went to the one that is all water, and it was a boat. And now I'm on the one that's all snow.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, okay, again, we saw like nothing of this. Like, that's like literally we're kind of like drawing from like a single sentence, but like, I don't know. I feel like for a long time we all kind of wanted like an open world galaxy, and I think that I mean, what's that? No Man's Sky is going to be like the game to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, if this is going to be like competing with that, or is it going to be something different? Because I don't know. A seamless open world galaxy just seems like not dense. It just seems like a very open, barren thing.
The part that's curious about this is seeing where this planet-dense, seamless open-world galaxy blends in with some gameplay, which also leaked a little bit this week. I don't remember exactly where this was from, but it was somebody's like concept reel or art design reel, something along those lines.
These poor guys.
Yeah, if you're an artist, you need to learn how to not post stuff on the internet that's not out yet.
I mean, but I can see that somebody, if they thought they had the proper locks on their stuff, that they think they would be okay. But man, this stuff just leaked left and right. So yeah, this was like it looked like an animation test or something. That's what I could tell, because it was basically a really, really small bit of early gameplay and then a cutscene.
Yeah, which wasn't a whole lot there. It looks like Mass Effect almost to a T. There's nothing surprising about any of the look to anything. There was a jetpack, but that's about it.
Yeah, so I mean, like, to me, it's just gonna be like, so going off that gameplay, which I know is very early, which is not, you don't want to make like broad generalizations about it, but I feel like if their hook this time is gonna be open world galaxy, it's like open barren world galaxy with that gameplay that we already played 3 games worth of. So I'm not a huge Mass Effect fan. Like, I only played 1 and 2. I really liked 1 and 2 a lot. I don't know why I never got 3. I actually know what I do know. It's because my save was on the PC and my PC broke down. I'm like, I'm never gonna play Mass Effect 3. And I had saved all the characters, which apparently was a kind of hard thing to do. And like, I didn't use any walkthroughs or anything. I just did it. And so I was like, oh wow, that was like a hard thing to do. And now it's like, oh well, my save is now sitting on a hard drive somewhere in my basement.
Aww, yeah. Poor Doug. Are you gonna get Andromeda? I love Mass Effect. That's one of my favorite series from last gen. I'm pumped about this. Even if it's same gameplay, different story, I'm fine with that. Where are you at with this? Are you getting this? I
am way more hyped for Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Like, I'm trying to think of like other EA games that might be coming in the near future. Like, I would probably even say I'm more excited for Garden Warfare 2 than I am for. I've been playing Garden Warfare a little bit lately. That game is actually pretty damn cool. But I don't know. Mass Effect's pretty cool, but I don't know. I felt like I got my Mass Effect fill with Mass Effect 1 and 2. Like, I just never even felt the need to play a third one. So like another one in that series is not super exciting to me. I can see how it would be like really, really exciting to other people. I do like the gameplay though. I really wish that I was actually really hoping that Final Fantasy 15 would have that Mass Effect gameplay where you can order teammates and stuff to do stuff.
Yeah.
And it'd be kind of like this cool squad based thing, and that was not the case. That was not the case at all. It was like poor man's Kingdom Hearts. Sorry, I just got off playing the Platinum demo for like a third time and trying to find maybe I missed something. Maybe the combat is super good and it's not. It's not super good.
It'll be okay, Doug. You'll get through it. I don't believe this was a leak. I believe this actually was official, but there's some new details about this year's Call of Duty. First of all, surprise, there's going to be a Call of Duty this year.
Yep.
The only reason I put this in here is because they said it's going, quote, full science fiction, which I don't know what that means, but that makes me excited because I love anything that starts with science fiction.
They had one of the things that it was actually from like a series of tweets of like this guy NeoGaf who just happens to know stuff. And one of the things they had mentioned was space battles, like full 360 space battles in a Call of Duty game. I mean, I think it's cool, but like, there's a lot of sci-fi games. Like, Destiny is a full sci-fi game. Division's a full sci-fi game. Call of Duty is sci-fi now.
Yeah, but okay, but I'm thinking like some kind of weird, crazy space combat. Like the Division is not the sci-fi that I like. When I think sci-fi, I think spaceships.
Well, yeah, I'll give you that. But then like we have Mass Effect coming. Like I said, we have Destiny. There's got to be other sci-fi games. Like what's like another sci-fi?
No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. I don't know. I feel like I've played sci-fi games before, so Call of Duty going sci-fi is like, okay. I think it's exciting that Call of Duty gameplay is going sci-fi. I just don't see like the Call of Duty as a franchise going sci-fi as this super exciting thing.
That's true. I guess it's probably not going to have a really deep, rich galaxy and all this immersive and like crazy background history on all these different races and spaceships and all that. It's probably just going to be now your M16 works in space. I don't really know what Call of Duty games are anymore, but in my mind, that's what it is.
You know what really sucks is like I've heard Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is actually super good. And actually everything I'd seen about that game actually looks really interesting, but I am never gonna drop $60 on a Call of Duty game. Those games take forever to go on sale. So
no, they do. I just saw I think it was the Sony PSN sale like a week or two ago was Call of Duty, and I think Ghost for PS4 was still $20 on sale.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I saw it and went, oh, is this the time that I finally try one of these on my PS4? And it went, oh, nope, none of those are $5. Sorry.
Yeah. I think it's just because we don't really play the multiplayer too much. So like those games, I can understand like people could get $60 worth of entertainment out of that, but just not me. Like we picked up Street Fighter 5 pretty cheap lately, and I was like, oh, I don't like Street Fighter 5 at all. This was a waste of $10 to me, even though like to other people it could clearly be worth 30, 40, $50. But again, I love The Witness, and I thought that was worth $40. So I don't know. Just money means different things to different people. And Call of Duty is worth exactly $10 to me.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Moving on here, Uncharted just today posted a new 16-minute gameplay video of this. Now, I watched this, and it was pretty cool. It's very open world. Doug saw this, and I actually showed it to him while we were talking a minute before we started this, and he lost his mind and thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I'm curious to know what made you go crazy about this.
No, that is a gross like hyperbolic. That's not. No, that is no. I
pretty
don't like.
Close.
I really do not like. It's not that I don't like. I don't. Well, no, I don't. I don't like Uncharted. I don't like Uncharted very much.
So wait. Can we just pause for a second here? Don't like Mass Effect. Don't like Call of Duty. Don't like Uncharted. What else do we talk about? You didn't like the Final Fantasy gameplay. You're sick of God of War. Didn't like Street.
Honestly, Bloodborne ruined a ton of games for me. That's really all it is. I just had a lot of games ruined for me because Bloodborne to me was just like so. Never mind. What are we talking about? Uncharted. The Uncharted gameplay was kind of cool because it wasn't open world, but it was clearly open level. Like you're sitting there, you're driving around a large area, and
so anyway. With that being said, why is Uncharted restoring your faith in games from Bloodborne since everything else sucks since that?
Oh no! You no. I thought it was cool just because it didn't look like Uncharted, and I was like, oh wow, an open Uncharted, and I was like thinking, and then as it kept going, I was like, this kind of just looks like Tomb Raider now. Like,
was Tomb Raider really open world like that?
Tomb Raider was definitely more open. Was at least more open for sure. The reboot Tomb Raider was it wasn't an open world, but it's kind of like the Arkham Asylum open world.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this one being like a little bit more open, and like he's like pushing around crates and stuff. I was like, oh, now it just kind of looks more like Tomb Raider. And there's parts where he was sitting there like he was like getting onto an enemy base and sitting there like scoping out guys, and like they were actually like highlighting with a little dot above their head, like you would see in Far Cry or you'd see in Metal Gear Solid 5. I was like, this isn't going to be as good as those games. Like, it'll probably be better for Far Cry, but I just couldn't see it being better than Metal Gear Solid 5, which is like the ultimate, base infiltration game. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. And then like as I just kept thinking about it more and more, I was like, oh, Well, I feel like it's getting inspired by these games, like but unless it goes all in on this like open level world gameplay, like it's just immediately going to be compared to other games, and it's like, oh, it's going to be those
For
games
sure.
with really good animation.
Yep.
I don't know, but you're
Yeah.
still super hyped, aren't you?
Yeah. I mean, I really like Uncharted, so to me, it's just when I saw it, it was they said we're gonna have more open world elements in this, and that's what I saw. It looked like Uncharted with open world elements, so it was one of those things where it wasn't mind blowing, it wasn't game changing. It was just like, okay, that's awesome. This is in my mind. It's cool because in my mind, that's what this game already looks like. When I'm thinking of Uncharted 4, what
Oh,
I
okay.
saw matched up with my expectations, which I feel like doesn't happen super often. You know what I mean? Most of the time, I feel like before a
Hmm.
game comes out, like I'm thinking No Man's Sky right now. In my mind, I have this glorious picture of what No Man's Sky is, and
Yeah.
there's no way in hell that game's going to live up to what my expectations are for it. But
Yeah.
looking at this Uncharted gameplay, my first thought was, "Damn, okay, that's exactly what I have pictured in my head right now when I think Uncharted gameplay for Uncharted 4."
And, I think that's the thing that's kind of disappointing me though, is because I already had these conceptions about Uncharted, and it didn't really seem to be like defying them. But like any new inspiration I saw, I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. Was like, oh well, no, I've seen that elsewhere. So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know. This game's like really low on my list of like exciting for the year. Are you pre-ordering this? I mean, not pre-ordering, but I mean, is this like when you'll probably spend $60 on, or
Probably. Mostly, I think if it was a November game, maybe not. But being that I haven't been able to buy a new game that I'm really excited about in a while. It's that okay. There's a new game coming out that I really, really want, so it's gonna get that boost, and I probably will end up getting it day one.
yeah, because to me, Dark Souls 3 is just clearly the game I will be getting instead of this. Like, it's not even on my radar. Like, I don't know.
Bleh.
I got Mirror's Edge ahead of this. I got
No,
yes, yep, Mirror's Edge. I got Dark Souls, and then Ratchet and
no,
Clank, and then The Last Guardian,
no.
and Horizon, and then maybe
Well,
when
okay,
I'm
now
done
you're
with
getting it.
all of
But
those.
see, now you're getting into fall. When you get into like Last Guardian, Horizon, then I'm going okay. Uncharted's not up there with those. But compared to, I would rather play Uncharted than Mirror's Edge. I'd rather play Uncharted than Dark Souls 3. I'd rather
Yeah,
play Uncharted 1 than Dark Souls 3. And Uncharted
yeah.
1 kind of sucks. Um, but
Mhm.
yeah, we'll see. I'm excited to see the finished product. I'm excited for Nathan Drake's last adventure. Getting all
Thank God.
emotional. Okay,
Thank
so
God. Can't wait for whatever they're moving on to next. I'm far more excited to whatever they're moving on to next than another Uncharted. I really hope it's not Last of Us 2. That would also be disappointing.
see, I'm kind of of the same mind that I'm glad this is done. I'm glad there hasn't been a Last of Us 2 announcement yet because I like that Naughty Dog has done a really good job, and I think throughout the entire history of the developer, they do a good job of moving on when they know that time's right. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
From Crash to Jack to Uncharted, and then even with stopping Uncharted and going, okay, we're going to take like a good chunk of time from Uncharted 3 to Uncharted 4. We're going to put the Last of Us in there. They do a really good job of separating that stuff out. So that's why I'm kind of happy that this is the last one, even though I do really like Uncharted.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like kind of a bummer. I actually bought the Naughty Dog 20th anniversary or 15th anniversary art book, and they showed some stuff from some of their canceled games, and they had one for Jack 4 and another one from they just called it canceled sci-fi game. Like there's no like real description for it, but the concept art was like amazing. And I'm so worried that like whatever they do next is just going to be like Uncharted and Last of Us are based on our world. You know what I mean? Like Last of Us is kind of like a
Yeah.
overgrown version of our world. Uncharted is just like our world, but more adventure-y. So I would rather see those artists just go crazy bananas than being stuck kind of like, okay, this is another realistic game. We gotta get that really good animation. These people are gonna look like people. It's like, oh, okay, I don't know. I'm really hoping they do something that's not The Last of Us 2 or Uncharted or even anything like those games.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, and that's why I'm glad that it's over. I'm glad it's over.
Hmm.
Moving on. So, this isn't necessarily news so much, so to speak, but kind of just something to talk about here for a second because Microsoft's Games with Gold program, which kind of goes along with the PS Plus, where you get your free games every month. This month is ridiculous, and I just saw this and was
Mm.
blown away that these are the games they're giving away. So if you have an Xbox One with Games with Gold this week, that's tomorrow, April 5th, 2016, or well, this would go up on April. if you're in April, you get Sunset Overdrive and Wolf Among Us for the Xbox One, which Wolf Among Us is amazing. And if you haven't played it yet, you need to go play that this second. And
That's
Sunset
definitely
Overdrive.
the best Telltale game. Yeah.
Have you? No, you haven't finished Tales of the Borderlands yet.
I haven't finished Tales of Borderlands.
Sunset Overdrive, which again is one of the big exclusives that make me want to buy an Xbox One right now. And I know this is like Doug's singular reason for ever wanting an Xbox One.
It is.
Yeah, and then if you go back to 360, they're giving away the first Dead Space and Saints Row 4. That's 4 giant games for free, which I feel like Sony did a much better job with 2 or 3 years ago, kind of matching that pace. But lately, these games have not been huge. They've been good games. Assault Android, Android Assault, Cactus Android, Cactus Assault, that Doug reviewed last month from PS Plus was a game that he said he loved, but it's not often that you're seeing these giant names.
Well, that game wasn't a PS Plus game. That was the failure of everybody voting.
Oh, that's right.
We're
offering it. Supposed to be there.
Yeah, they were offering it, and then a bunch of people decided that a game with 5 versions of Arnold Schwarzenegger is way better.
Anyway, Doug's better. So what do you think about these kind of things? Because PlayStation Plus, I'm going to be honest, I have not been overly excited about any of the games the past 3 or 4 months. Yeah. How do you feel about this?
I don't know. I think it's unfair to say, oh, I can't believe it's like, oh wow, look at how amazing Xbox is doing. It's like Sony had like 2 years of really good games, and you just can't keep at the pace. You eventually just start running out of games to release. So now that Xbox is now like 2 years new into it, like that they're I mean, Sony's been doing this for 2 years. Now they just started catching on. They're like, well, now they can start releasing these big games like Sony did 2 years ago. And so they'd be like, oh my God. But now they also get the added benefit of looking better than Sony, even though Sony did the same thing years ago.
Yeah, and that was kind of my thought too, is if you look at like my PS Plus library, there are some games in there that I really can't believe are in there because they're just crazy good games. Like my Vita is essentially just a PS Plus machine from the first year or two that they were doing Plus on that, where you got Wipeout, you got Gravity Rush, you got Uncharted, you got all the key AAA quote unquote Vita games for essentially free. But yeah, so now that Sony's kind of slowly running out of games, I feel like there's still this desire that people really want those big name games, but it's at some point you just run out.
Yeah, I think it's like, I think it should be more like the reception should be like, good job, Sony. You gave us those 2 years of like amazing games. It's like, okay, well now it's Xbox like version, like time to show their hand. It doesn't mean like Sony's suddenly doing way worse. Just like, well, you really can't. There's not a lot of PS4 games you could probably give away right now because it just hasn't been around that long. Like the only equivalent to Sunset Overdrive would probably be Infamous. But it's not like they're releasing Halo. It's not like they're releasing. I honestly, after Sunset Overdrive, I can't even think of another game they might release. Probably Ori and the Blind Forest. I can see them doing next.
They already did that.
Oh, they did.
Did they already do that? I think they already did that.
I don't know about that. I just don't think there's many games that you could release as like a PS Plus or an Xbox Gold. I think Sunset Overdrive is just like one of the few that you probably could. Like maybe maybe like I'm trying to think of like just like those launch games. It'd be like Shadowfall, Infamous, Knack maybe. But I don't know. There's no way Microsoft's going to keep that up. I'll eat those words in like 3 months or something like that when they keep doing this. But I just don't think they're not going to be able to keep up that pace. I think they'll probably release 2 other semi-big games, but after that, it's going to be pretty,
Yeah. I do have to say, I'm curious to see what happens with the end of the PS3, Xbox 360 generation. If all of a sudden we just start getting like giant name PS3 and Xbox 360 exclusives for Plus stuff and for games with gold, just because it's like that they're dying anyway. Like the people who have these, and these are the games that people that were the greatest for those systems. So for the last 6 months, we're just going to give you, Infamous 1 and 2, God of War 3, Halo 4.
Like PlayStation 3 classics and Xbox 360 classic games.
And they just give you like the free like generational defining games there instead of like I Am Alive, which is a PS Plus game this month.
Yeah. More like
right.
I Am Dead. Am I right? PS Plus. It's dead. Why would you ever want to even pay for it? It's ridiculous.
It's so horrible. They give me free
I love PS Plus. Like literally every month every time, even if there's like a month that I'm like not totally thrilled about, there's never been like, oh, I'm not going to resub. Like, it's like, well, this month wasn't great, but even in the not great months, there's probably something you're going to find.
Yeah, and it's always interesting. It's fun just to be able to play a couple games that you never would have touched before. That's always kind of fun. We're going to run through these last couple things. These are the announcements for the week of things that are obviously happening because, of course, they are, because money makes things happen. Shadows of Mordor 2, it's happening.
Yep.
No thoughts from Doug. That game's
I
amazing.
don't like that game. I don't like Lord of the Rings. I don't like Assassin's Creed, and I thought the Batman Arkham combat is not that great. So like, there's literally no reason for me to ever even play that first game.
All right, there you go. Doug loves Shadows of Mordor. It was one of my favorite games. I loved it. It's one of, I think, like 3 games I actually have a platinum trophy in, so I'm pumped. Anyway, Grand Theft Auto 6 is in development because, of course, it's in development. Thoughts on that one, Doug?
Anywhere but America.
That would be cool. International Grand Theft Auto. But isn't that what Sleeping Dogs was? Wasn't Sleeping Dogs?
Well, yeah, and Yakuza, and there's a few open world games. Like, we just haven't seen a Grand Theft Auto. I mean, there was a Grand Theft Auto. There's Grand Theft Auto London, I think. That was like GTA 1 or GTA 2. I can't remember. It was an old
1 and 2 don't count, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, it was before they even went like 3D. So, yeah, I just wouldn't mind. I thought it was really cool. At first, when I was playing Grand Theft Auto 5, I was like, wow, this is a really funny representation of America. This is some like biting satire. And then I was like reading up. It's like, oh, all of the Grand Theft Auto guys are actually from Europe. Oh, they're just being mean to us. Like, this isn't fighting satire.
They hate America.
They're just mean.
Yeah, I don't like Grand Theft Auto. The last one I played was Vice City. So
you haven't played 5 yet?
No, I didn't play 4 or 5.
Holy crap, dude! 5 is good. 5 is really good. It's really funny too. It's like it's surprisingly clever for being a Grand Theft Auto game.
I played 3 and liked it, and I played Vice City and went, huh, this is like 3 with neon, and I haven't played 1 since. Anyway, last thing, Hitman, which you can see Doug's review from a couple weeks ago. He loves it. April 26th, episode 2 comes out. Are you getting it day 1?
Yeah, I think this will probably be the first series I actually like do episode by episode purchasing. I think it's because they're not super story heavy. They're more like I'm like much more excited to I feel like with Telltale games, and I've never bought these. The reason I never buy these episode by episode is because I don't like when I get to a cliffhanger and they're just like, oh, well, I gotta wait a few months to the end of this cliffhanger. And Hitman didn't really end on a cliffhanger. It's just like just knowing there's more Hitman month to month. I don't know. I think that's awesome. I'm really just gonna try to keep buying these episodes one at a time because I'm hoping that the season pass just finally goes on sale. So in total, I will have paid less than $60 on it. But no, I really, 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 really enjoyed the first one. I thought it was a really excellent game that kind of got an unfair shake because of I'm not gonna. It wasn't great what they were doing with the online component, but I definitely don't think it was a game breaker because it was a hell of a lot of fun and it was a really, really effing good game. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm just excited like how big the open world is because I mean they started with a huge, huge open area. So the fact that they're kind of teasing like an open city with multiple buildings is like that's gonna be really cool. So very excited, very excited. Go play the first one. It's awesome.
I'm thinking about it, but. That will do it for this news update from Workforce Gaming. Thank you all. We've got lots of comments on the videos. Thank you for those. We love hearing from you guys. You can follow us on Twitter at Workforce Gaming. Subscribe on iTunes or YouTube or wherever else we happen to be at. I don't really keep track. I just post stuff places. But thank you guys for listening. We'll see you later.
Bye.
But thank you guys for listening. We'll see you later.
Bye.